What's up, my people? It's your girl with Tomboy Chronicles with a new segment that I'm going to call What Would Indian Girl Do? So, full disclosure, I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not dating. I don't plan on being any of those things anytime soon. But, most of the things I talk about is going to be around relationships and dating, just to give you an insight. I just don't really have time for dating right now because, I've been blessed with staying busy. And right now I'm in a season of planting my seeds so I can reap the harvest. So I need to be totally focused on that area of my life, and my personal life can take a back seat as far as that's concerned. And in the process of planting those seeds, I have to heal, and I have to, I'm healing, and I'm on the mend. I'm on the mend. But anyway, so on this episode of What Would Indian Girl Do, I want to talk about two situations that came out ironically on the same day. This is really crazy. And what would Indian Girl do is like just different situations that I might find myself in, and how I handle different situations, and my rules that I have set that I keep up with. And I know y'all think it's funny, my rules, but anyway, I'm a planner, so everything, I think of things in advance. What could happen, what could this, what could that, whatever. This is how I live my life. So anyway, so I had two situations that happened. So rule number 18 in Auntie Indian Girl's purple house is always be kind when letting people down. So basically out here, it's very difficult to navigate out here. You can't stop people from talking to you or possibly being interested in you. And no matter what you do, you could have the grumpiest face ever. Somebody's gonna say, "Hey miss, won't you smile?" And they try to start a conversation, whatever. I try to avoid that because I don't really want the interaction if I'm not in that zone in my life where I'm open to, and I don't like meeting people like that anyway. But so usually you have to learn how to let people down nicely, because you don't know how they're gonna react. I was talking about this yesterday. You don't know if you're gonna get cussed out, you're gonna get shot, somebody's gonna run you over because you like, oh no, I don't talk to you. So I find myself talking a certain way if I do get in a situation where someone is trying to talk to me. So I try to be kind and polite, but make sure I'm not flirting, make sure I'm not giving off any signs, and then, thank the person and kind of just get out of the situation. So here are the two scenarios. First scenario, I'm coming out of the store, and this man is in his car, and he pulls up behind me. He says, "Hey miss, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful." And I just turned and looked because I was on the phone with my friend at the time, and they looked like, "Oh my God, somebody's coming." I'm like, "Yep." I was like, "Oh yeah, thank you." And I kept walking, and I was really close to my vehicle, and he was like, "Are you married? Are you married?" And I'm not gonna lie, so I was like, "No, I'm not married." And I'm getting in my car, and he's like, "Will you marry me?" And I was like, "No, I will not marry you." Haha. What would you think about it? I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't want to be married. I'm not interested." So he's like, "Well, and I looked at the man, and I was like, you look very familiar." He was like, "No, you don't know me." I was like, "You look very familiar now that I see your face, and this conversation sounds familiar." And I was like, "What is your name?" And they told me their name. I said, "Yes, 2 years ago in another grocery store parking lot, you did the same exact thing and said the same exact thing to me." I remember it. I never forget a face. I have a photographic memory. So I was like, I never forget a face. And this was in a different city and everything. So he was like, "Oh, that probably wasn't me. Take my number down and come see us. I have a band, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "No, thank you. You have a blessed day." And I got my vehicle. But it had me thinking, I'm like, is this what he do? Troll parking lots and cars trying to pick up women with the same lines? It was just odd. But, but I kept with the rule. I was polite. I smiled. Even when I said, "No, I wouldn't marry you," I was still like, "No, thank you for the compliment," and go about my day. So it's like, it's weird. Like, you can't stop people, no matter what you look like, how you dress, or how you, because I move really fast. I get in and get out when I go to places. So it's like I move really fast. It's hard for people to catch me, to stop me, because I look like I'm on a mission, which I usually am. So it kind of keeps people out of my face. So the next situation was a strange one. I always hire outside companies if I need someone to come do work in my home or in my personal space. The reason why I do that is because I can hold them accountable if something happens in my home. It's a business. I've checked their reviews, I've checked their credentials, and I have no personal ties to them. So when they come, they do the work, they leave. Every once in a while you get people that ask you extra questions, and you can tell they're kind of being flirty or whatever. But as long as you don't give them anything back, it's against policy for them to even to try to talk to customers or anything and make them feel uncomfortable. And if they do, I just call management. So that's what I did last year. I hired a company to do some work for me in my home, and I called them back again to do the same thing. And I spoke with them, and they was like, basically they was going to do the work, and all of a sudden they said they were going to pass me on to another dispatcher. That person called me, and when I was on the phone, basically the company that I hired before, when they got to my house to do the work, I heard them talking amongst themselves, and one person was like, dang, don't they look like old girl from school, da 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 da. And I heard them, I'm like, there's only one of me, so I'm like, do I know y'all? And it was like, oh, that's you. And come to find out, they went to high school with me. Now, I wasn't, I was the girl that wore purple every day and kind of kept to herself. So I went to 2 different high schools. So it's like, I wasn't like, only people know about me is like, it's the girl that wore purple. I didn't really hang out that much. I didn't really do a lot of things that everybody else did. I kind of kept to myself and kind of did my own thing. Like, I didn't fall into certain crowds and stuff. So I would look familiar to people, but they probably don't remember a strong tie to me, which is fine. I'm good with that. So yeah, when we realized, oh yeah, we know each other from school, cool. But again, they did a good job, so I was gonna hire them again. And he was unavailable. They were unavailable, so they told me they were sending me to somebody else. I got on the phone with that somebody else, and immediately they was like, oh, I heard you fam. Kind of got real personal real quick, and I'm trying to talk business. So I go into my business mode of talking. It makes me nervous because it's like, dang. Going back to my other rule, not having people that I know or whatever in my home or in my personal space, because it makes it awkward for me. It makes me uncomfortable. So I immediately got uncomfortable, but I stuck to the business of the matter and explained my situation, and they said they can do the job or whatever. They did. They didn't complete the job, so they had to come back. So they came back, and I was actually there this time, and chit-chatting about school and things like that, different people we know. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, blah 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 blah. So fast forward, they leave and they call, and it was like, oh, I just want to let you know, like, I was interested in you, and when so and so told me that I was coming to your house, I did some research. I asked around about you, and I'm like, asking around about me, which and that's the end of that story. I'm gonna give it right there, because again, I'm not dating, I'm not interested. So I kind of just told him, hey, look, I'm not in the place, blah 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 blah, have a blessed day, thank you for doing the work, and I got out of the situation, which is fine. But when he said ask about me, it reminded me, like, the person I was seeing previously, like, they would always say, I guess due to their experience with women, and they just have trust issues. And I constantly say, I like, 1, you can Google me. 2, I've been here long enough, you can ask about me, because if you're out here doing stuff, people are going to know, and people are going to talk. And as long as I've been here and doing business where I'm at, people know who you are, they know your character, and they will talk. Now, if you get 1 or 2 people saying something crazy, it's probably because they hating. But we got thousands and thousands of people that you've come in contact with and know, and everything is positive and good. Because just like that person said, I asked around about you, because you want to make sure that you wasn't in this crowd, and you didn't do this and do that. And everybody was like, everything that came back about you was A1 on point. I was like, yeah, because I don't really live my life like that, and I don't really, get into situations. I'm kind of really, I'm a social person, but I'm a private person too. So I remember telling that person the same thing. I was like, dude, I've been here a long time. You can ask around about me to anybody, and you'll find out. In asking, you'll find out the type of person I am. Because most people, they're gonna say she wear purple all the time and she a grinder. That's the most you're gonna get. Like, she's a hard worker. She don't play around. She don't do none of that, or whatever. So it was eye opening that, me saying that. But if somebody that actually was like, oh, I might be interested in this person, let me go check their whole facts, I guess. Let me go ask around, because I went to school here and I've been living here the majority of my life. So people are gonna know, what you did in school, what you did after school. They're gonna know these things about you. So it's just another thing where, like, I mean, if you don't care and you're like, and which I don't care, even if they did say something negative about me that was in my past, people change. You change and you grow. So that could have been a past situation or anything, and you've grown from it. It's like who you are today. But anyway, those are my two stories of what we go through as women in this world. And the only other thing I wanted to touch on is, like I just said to my friend today, is like, I can't control who is interested in me. I can only control how I respond to it. So, like, if I'm married or in a committed relationship, or I'm seeing somebody, I'm very upfront and honest, and I don't mince words. You can't do that. Well, we can be friends. I'm like, yeah, no, my man's not cool with that. It's like, if you got to know the person that you're with, because you can't control everybody else, but you got to trust the person that you with. And if you have serious trust issues, no matter who it is, you got to fix that. You got to work on that. You got to figure out how would you ever be able to trust anybody with those issues, because it's going to always be something that's going to trigger distrust. And that person could be just as genuine and a great person, and you missing out on a blessing. So but yeah, so if you're like me, you're not really interested in dating right now, you're really not, or you're in a committed relationship, and you just, the way to get out of these situations, again, what would Indian girl do? Kill them with kindness, but don't be extra with it. But you got to be nice when you let people down. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to, turn your nose up or be any kind of way. Just say thank you, because again, it's a compliment somebody's giving you when they approach you. So I automatically say thank you, but I'm not interested. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. And just do it that way. But anyway, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. But that's it, guys, for today. I just wanted to share that. It's just crazy things that happen day-to-day life, and it's like, a lot of us go through these things. It's like, you might have handled it a little different. Leave a comment, let me know how you would have handled both of these situations, if you would have handled it differently, or what you would have done. So as always, I love you guys, and we will see you soon. Bye.